they use psychology to
All right, this is Richard Provost.
divide people and how they do that. Propaganda. And not only that, in entertainment industry, music industry, movie industry. Yeah, you name it. Even in the science.
We'll be
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Could this be lower?
Yes. Yes, it could.
Wait a
She
minute.
said it.
Oh, sounded like John there for a second.
Who
Oh,
was
shit.
you talking about?
John, so yeah, we got a new co-host, John, so try to see if you're going to get on here. Message him back. Message him. Let me see it.
Well, I got another angle to talk about with cancel culture. They're even using it in the medical field. And what I mean by that, you see the censorship on posts. Anybody that talks about COVID-19 or the VAXX, they flag with fact checks, which I call them fake checkers, what they are, or they censor you for a month or two. They said you violated community standards. Yeah, that's a good example of cancel culture right there. Anything that opposes the narrative of the opposition is cancel culture. You can look at fake advocacy groups. You can look at the medical corporation. You can look at politicians. You can look at the mainstream media. You can look at the entertainment industry, just like a lot of hip hop artists. Look, Tom McDonald. He's the perfect example in hip hop. Just because he don't go with the mainstream narrative in hip hop, to be hired on by a record company, he says his own thing, does his own thing, and they don't like it. So what they do? Cancel culture. This white guy's racist. He's a bigot. Whatever.
It's just like we're called a radical group. What the fuck?
And the reason
We're
for
doing
that
something
is
like we're getting under people's skin. We're telling the truth. So we're getting under motherfucker's skin.
2 reasons. Remember when I talked about indoctrination? And indoctrination and mind manipulation. people has been so brainwashed over the last couple decades, been lied to about history. They grew up around that stuff. They can't get outside of that bubble, so their mind only, you know, you know, draws to, one one conclusion. It's either left versus right politics if they're a political minded person, or religion. That's another one. You got fake Christians, which are Rabbi Zionists from Israel, and the ones that are in the United States, and then you got the real Christians that truly believe in God and heart, not what man says in the Bible, which man manipulates the Bible. Because you look at over the last couple hundred years, man has changed the scriptures and Bible, but they claim that's God's word. That's where I'm getting at with this. How is it God's word when man rewrites new scriptures? And why? And a couple hundred years ago, the Pope take out in regards to the Book of Enoch and
Enoch.
what's the other one?
Enoch. Bus raps like Enoch. The other one? Fuck, I don't remember.
I'm trying to think of the other one real quick.
Oh, Batman. What the fuck was that? I'm gonna puke.
Anyway, they took it out. And what a lot of people don't realize is the globalists, you can call them globalists, Zionists, evil elite. They got one belief, and their one belief is Luciferianism. But the way they're playing the card is with this cancer, they're using that in religion to turn basically the religious community against the very few religious people that know the original history of biblical scriptures, not what is rewritten there. So you have it. These say that the church and the same type of heretics and these churches want to be preachers of God. Well, they do the opposite. They could tell you, like for instance, I'm not knocking the Mormon religion, but I don't.
I'm not knocking the Mormons either, bro.
Got out with this. A couple years ago,
What?
they wanted me to get saved, right?
They want you to get saved from what? Yourself?
Get saved. Had to quit. Had to quit drinking coffee, quit drinking soda, anything with sugar or caffeine in it, because it's a sin in their religion. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
Talk about that in the Bible, the original Bible, not the man, not what man keeps rewriting. Does God speak of that in the Bible? It's a sin to do that. I didn't see nothing about it. I mean, what little research I did on it. But see, man is manipulating the outcome. And, yes, I'm going to say this. I'm probably going to get a lot of haters, but a lot of people in the religious community, they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they've been indoctrinated, they don't know no better. Whatever man writes in that Bible, and they go with it. Don't eat chocolate. Don't drink alcohol. It's a sin. Don't cuss. It's a sin.
What is it? So what if you slap your wife? What's that?
It's a sin. It's sort of. I mean,
Different
look at the parallels. Look at the parallels in it. It's pretty much like government in a lot of ways.
What about masturbation?
Compare.
I don't want to tell.
Yeah, that's a sin. Well, wearing black to church is a sin. There is very few preachers that will be like, hey, and they're going to, the very few preachers that are left actually going to try to teach the true word, what it is to be a follower and a believer of God, not in the rewritten words of how man wants you to perceive how you should follow God. But really, it's man's views, not God's views. So that's the moral of the story there. Yeah, we all do sin. Even the ones that are, the preachers. You hear a lot of stories about online and on the news from time to time where they raped little kids or they have porn fetish. So those same type of hypocrites, they're the ones telling you not to commit a sin as simple as drinking a cup of coffee or watching when you was young and curious, some people were, watch a porn video or something. You know what I mean?
I guess. What are you drinking?
Good right there, brother.
Hard cranberry.
Even has the Illuminati triangle. Oh wait, conspiracy. Oh, better watch how I talk about that. See the symbol? Break down the gematria. I'm a scientist. No, I'm joking. See what I mean? People buy into that shit. Look at the numbers in Convid. Just look at it. Don't ask master. That's all you got to do. Put a little swag behind it and dress fancy and nah. Sorry, I was being a smart ass.
Was that Monster Energy drink? There's another one.
That there's been people lately, busting our balls and messages and stuff. I'm not going to mention no names. The thing about it is,
Fucking radicals. Radical views.
the thing of it is,
So what do they mean by radical views? Is that like some far out conspiracy bullshit?
a radical view originates and permeates the political ideology. And when it's dangerous when people are stuck on a political ideology, right versus left lie paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
They got all these different names: radicals, politically incorrect. That's because they've been programmed what they're being
So we'd be
fed
like
horse crap.
in other words,
mainstream
we're all
media.
conspiracy theorists. Would that be right? We got some far out. We couldn't be.
And the reason why
We show evidence.
and the reason why
It's
the reason why the
it's
mindset.
it's not a conspiracy. When there's evidence, it's a fact. When there's evidence,
I'll tell you why their mindset's off. what their feelings get
Because people
involved.
don't know
And
what they're talking about. Mike. People don't know the difference between. They don't know the law. They don't know most of these stupid sons of bitches, ones that are in these groups that are so full of shit. This is a fact, no evidence. That's radicalism right there. When you're going off the deep end without providing evidence, then that becomes a conspiracy.
radical,
Exactly. So how can we be called a radical group when we post evidence? That doesn't make any sense. And now one stupid son of a
I admit I'm guilty of trolling back because of the fact, they're trying to get under our skin, and we're doing,
no, we're not even.
we're doing what we're supposed to. So I throw it back at them, sort of like, ha, I got,
No, we're
this
getting
and that.
people's
I
skin
done
because
proved this and that.
yeah, we've already because I've done some videos and they've probably been watched. It's like, dude, you can't go around and say just because you hear it from 30 people doesn't make it a fact. It's hearsay
Right.
in the mouth.
And the reason why people are like that, like I said, they're attached to the right versus left paradigm ideology, and is truth should be the side that you should choose, or the Constitution of the United States that is selected by the elite group. If the man in the suit and tie was actually elected by the people, then the man in the suit and tie would impose everything, for the people and for this country, but it's the opposite. Yeah, sure, you can have a puppet on your hand up on a stage, puppeteering with the puppets, but nobody pays attention to the man, puppeteering the puppets. They pay attention to the puppets. That's the problem. Like people like watching Jeff Dunham because he has those ventriloquist dummies. They pay attention to the dummies, but not Jeff Dunham. Same thing with politics. They pay attention to the dummies. Because the dummies are told what to say, they move a certain way because the puppet master is doing it behind the scenes. And right there, Jeff Dunham is, but nobody pays attention to Jeff Dunham. Same way with politics. You got your George Soros in the pockets of probably Biden, Clinton's. Then you got the Rothschilds in the pocket, probably Bush, Reagan, Trump. Same size. Because why do you think president that, over, decades time or every 4 years, they continue the agenda of the last president?
Correct.
And why is it that, always hear that term, follow the money? Why is it all these dots to all these different people that are, in the swamp, they call the swamp, connected to that, political leader or that scientist or that banker? It's not a conspiracy theory. If you put one and one together, hey, investigate the financial ties, investigate the royal bloodlines. So it ain't conspiracy theory when all that stuff that is researched and you find that, hey, so-and-so has minds in doing this scheme or that scheme, this agenda, that agenda.
That's evidence. It's a fact. When there's evidence, that's when it's a fact. When we do videos and we talk about shit, we're not radical. We don't got no radical right views or whatever. Fuck. We post evidence.
All right, we got radical truth views. And it's radical. Reason they say it's radical because it hurts their feelings.
Because they're in
Their
groups.
emotions get them.
Because you got them in groups. You got them because these people are coming out of fake groups. You got motherfuckers that say that they've been in the war or whatever, and they're fucking. Some of them are so fucking shady. It's like they're in a militia.
And
They're in the fucking militia. Shady motherfuckers. These militia groups are fucking shady, bro.
there's some good ones that I've
I'm not
talked
saying
to
that.
that agree. Is like, hey, remember
I'm not
what's his
saying
name, Robert? Remember Robert?
Yeah.
He
That's not what
said,
I'm
hey,
saying. A lot of these fucking militia groups are shady as fuck. They're not all up and up. There might be some, but there's
right.
others that are shady. You guys are radicals. Get the fuck out of here. Stay on Facebook and join fake groups that shooting motherfuckers with AIDS and fucking needles without evidence, calling it facts. Get other people that
And
have no history of dealing with this shit. People stay at home, got their fucking.
and there's you still got a lot some people in some of these groups I've been affiliated with, conversation wise, that agree with me. No, just follow the plan, trust the plan. Even with Biden in office, trust the plan. Like, what plan? You don't see all these people. They probably don't see them in jail. So
What happened to all those fucking people that were supposed to be charged, as far as I know them?
and then they put on the illusion, and just because somebody resigns from office, supposedly resigns, they think that's draining the swamp. No, it's not draining the swamp. Draining the swamp is when they get in jail, fired, and fined.
Shit.
Depending on how high their treasonous acts are. Not resigned. That's not draining the swamp, folks. That is basically, hey, we just need you to seem like you're moving out of the picture, but you can still do what you do, not in the picture. That's all that is, a resignation when it comes to a lot of these officials. And somebody would probably be on here, oh, you're calling the kettle black. Boy, well, you're part of that kettle. And, that's the only thing you do see is the kettle was black because you're a part of that kettle. And somebody will be on here. And as long as people, don't separate their feelings from political ideology, use logic, they're always going to be in that mindset to be sheep. As simple as that. Cancel culture. They believe the political ideology or religious ideology. The scientific theology, I mean, I can go on with it. So how about this? Common sense and truth. Forget all about that. That's what's dividing us in the first place. Because we've got people going, well, we voted for Biden. He's a strong supporter of the black community. Well, we voted for Trump. He's a strong supporter with get more taxes and stuff back, or yada yada yada, Or we voted for Obama. He's all about gay rights. Yeah, they might have did something for gay rights just to get votes. They just do enough. No, just minute enough to get people to latch on to the teats of that cow and milk it. They think they're going to milk it for what it's worth, except they're the teat and they're getting milked for everything.
Yeah. Well, Obama was the first gay president, wasn't he? We got nothing against gays. I can tell you that. Michelle Obama, she built like a fucking man, bro. Adam's apple, bro. She's a monster, bro. Oh my gosh. fucking
I
arm for
have
me.
nothing
She felt
against
like a
gays.
fullback. She felt like a fucking fullback, bruh. I'd
I
be
have
afraid to
nothing.
death to meet her in the alley. She'd probably whoop the shit out of me. She has an
I have
Adam's
nothing
apple.
against.
She had a bulge in her pants. Damn, bruh.
I have
That
nothing
bitch is
against
dangerous.
gays. Some of my best friends, my coworkers, right? They're lesbians. We're like best friends, They're cool,
There you go.
but they don't bother nobody, and they're just laid back, mind their own business, do their own thing. They don't bother nobody. I mean,
So
it's
did they
nothing
pass
against
the age of consent? Is that true?
the age of consent with what Joe is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, consent from what I'm hearing with multiple sources, and also something else that's coming down the pike. Refugees, or 125,000 refugees per year, is being let into the country illegally. And I'll tell you what, as race baiting as well. They want to use it as a race baiting card. Well, what are you talking about immigrants for? No, I'm telling you the facts. The reason they're getting brought in here, here's the agenda. Getting brought in here to take American jobs away because they're promised by this socialistic, communistic system that they get free benefits as long as they come in here and vote for the parties that is advertising it. I'll make another example. Since people are stuck on this left versus right paradigm, Republican governor in Texas, when all those people froze to death, no power, a lot of them died, he didn't do nothing to help them. Nothing. And he's a Republican, y'all. You say Republicans are the good guys, right? Well, what happened? Or, another example, look at
Sounds
our
like some
current leader now.
shit.
Look at our current leader now. Yeah, he ran as a Democrat, but he switched over to Republican. Why? To get more votes. That's
Who are
why
you
he did
talking
it.
about?
Our current leader in the state.
Jim Justice?
That's why he did it.
Well,
Because
he
he
didn't
was
switch
for
over until 2020.
he switched over because he was a strong supporter of the Clintons, remember? And then he changed his tone as soon as Trump won. He's like, I'm switching over to the Republican. See how that works? That's how that works.
He didn't turn Republican until 2020. When he said when he ran, he was supposed to run Republican and he didn't. He didn't turn Republican until 2020. I mean
But he was a
that's what it says in
Democrat.
Wikipedia. So that if that's true, we're going by that. That's somewhat evidence, I guess. So therefore, he fucking lied. He's a scumbag. So he's a fucking Democrat. He's supporting Biden. He's not a Republican. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Jim Justice is not a Republican. He could say
He's
that, he could put that in the paper, but he's not.
He's an opportunistic authoritarian, is what he is.
Shit's what he is. He's garbage. Jim Powers, we got you now, buddy.
He
Jim Justice, a.k.a. Jim Powers, you piece of shit.
he
So
is
we're going
he is what you would call a bootlicker that will bootlick anybody that gets in there as president.
oh, yeah, I know.
And that's the way a lot of them are. Yeah, and they could be if they have balls about them. They really wanted to do balls like Governor DeSantis of Florida or Christina Noem of South Dakota.
because they're all part of what's all wrong with
They stood up against the
They're
federal
all part-
government.
Yeah,
And they actually care about their people. Their economy's good. No small businesses have been in Florida either. But here, or other states, we see small businesses. I see the enforcement of masks in those two states I just mentioned, Florida, South Dakota. They're not really, enforcing it. So they'll give you a choice. Yeah, they'll give you a choice if you want to take it or not, but you're not going to enforce it or threaten it with coercion. Coercion. Hey, you either take it, you can't shop for groceries. You take it, you don't got no employment. And in some places, it's so bad in other countries, which will eventually come here, is people are not allowed to walk outside the house. You're not supposed to come out and take the vaccine. Yeah. And I'll be damned. Stick me with that anal swab. They can shove that damn thing up their own ass. I ain't
it's not going to be a Q-tip. It's going to be somebody
doing that.
with sponge on the end.
Fuck that, man. It ain't happening. Nah, not to this boy. Fuck y'all. That's what I gotta say.
Like I say, Mike, bend over and cough, motherfucker.
And I'll be like, I'll break that motherfucker, get away from him. That's what I'll be like. Hey, it's your body, your choice. We are free. We are free human beings. In the natural nature of God, as God's people, we're free human beings. Your own body, you own your own body. Just like the stuff you buy, you own it because you paid your money. That is that. And don't like it, like it, whatever. But yeah, that's unclean from it. And that's why you got people tattletelling in a lot of different states. Probably some around here. Wasn't wearing a mask while he was cutting the grass. Call the law. Call the law. And what's your point? Grass on his property, his lawn. So what? And if folks want to be babies about things, maybe you should treat them like babies. Yeah, I know they're going to say, well, that's radical.
I think we lost Mike McClure. See what happened. I think we lost Mike McClure. See what happens. Let's see. I guess we're going to cut this. Something happened. Mic's off, so Mr. Provost, 45 Freedom will be back maybe later.